Welcome to Life Force Rejuvenation. My name is John. We're going to go down this adventure that I've been on for quite a few years now. I owe a lot of it to Elizabeth April, who is the most amazing channeler that I've ever experienced, saw, or had the pleasure of sharing space with. That's where all this information comes from. She puts me on a journey, and I do the research. And far from no, totally, absolutely amazing. This woman is. Okay, so here, the Anunnaki. Okay, many, many years ago, like one of my first sessions with Elizabeth, we she kind of keyed me onto my Anunnaki genetics, and was like, wow, this is interesting. So then a couple sessions later, we started to deep dive into the exact what was going on. And basically, I was this captain, general, whatever you want to call it, but I was in charge of all these groups of warriors. And that pine cone thing that you see, that is a weapon of mass destruction. I'll get to that. So she informed me that I was in charge of all these beings, and I handed out these staffs that had the pine cone on it. So what is that pine cone? That pine cone is made from a mineral that is not of this earth, which is why it's so dangerous and so deadly. So that one keyed me off. Then it wasn't until like quite a few sessions later that I actually went into the deep dive Anunnaki heritage. And I'll post a link to that video because it's really informative. But the best part about that video is I left out the bombshell, the second part of the channeling. Oh, that should be a pay-per-view anyway. So that pine cone that the Anunnakis have is a weapon of mass destruction. You have to keep the humans in line somehow. So you demonstrate this weapon of mass destruction. That little purse that they hold, that is the energy source. Small is very dangerous. Oh yeah. And and like in my TikTok, the energy flows through them up to this watch or this dial indicator, and you can dial up the power of it. But anyway, when you dial it to a certain point and you point at a being, a human, or whatever, it breaks the molecular bond in the atoms. And when you do that, you reduce the human to like a little thimbleful. So this was control issues. And when you see the eagle with this weapon, it's air superiority. Hello. Even in today's times, when warriors are out there on the battlefield, what are they doing? They're brandishing weapons. Same thing with the Anunnaki. That is a freaking dangerous weapon. And but one of the feelings I got with this weapon is you dial it down to a certain point, and it can be very painful. It can melt you, and that would really suck. But usually, like poof, break the molecular bond, and you just disintegrate into nothing. How I came through this, these things just come to me because I've been put on the path and stuff like that. But I've heard all this people share about this pine cone. Oh, it's a knowledge thing. It's a weapon of mass destruction. It is. If they were ever to come to this planet again, we are screwed. You'll just watch these people get vaporized and stuff like that. But it's been, let's see how, oh yeah. And so in that one video, there was a being, an Anunnaki called Zia Sudra, who told Noah to gather, well, if that was his name, we don't know. And he gathered up all these 2x2s and stuff like that. Yeah, I believe that, because when they sent the flood, it was to wipe out the human race, because Anu decided that we're out of control, we're reproducing too fast. But hey, it takes tens of thousands of years to get up a slave labor force enough to mine all that gold. And, humans, we're like rabbits. We like to procreate and stuff like that. And we got out of control. So anyway, I was tasked to save as many humans as I could. And what I found out that I did is I brought them up to these mountaintops. I used my technology to hollow out the tops of these mountains. Like in Turkey, they have all these tunnels and stuff that go underground. Uh, Peru has these tunnels in the mountains. The ant beings in like the Grand Canyon and the Four Corners, they have these mountains that are hollowed out, and these places have airtight, watertight doors on them that we can't figure out what the heck the thing was. Well, that was the only way I could save humanity. Dig them in for the long journey. And the really cool thing, you always see these little indentations in the walls, these little squares. You put it's for a light source. I mean, what, we're gonna burn flames and fire inside a cave? Maybe for cooking, but to light the way. They had these really awesome crystals that were kind of made from the same material, but not really, very luminous. Let's see. What else? Anyway, yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, I'm John from Life Force Rejuvenation. If I come up with something else, I'll put out a follow-up video and stuff like that. But that is just like one of my most recent epiphanies, what we call it. With that, peace around, love and gratitude.